What's going on, everybody? So, welcome to episode 2 of the Surreal Pinball Experience. My plan with all of these is to make baby steps and small improvements every time I do another stream. So, we have some new equipment, new camera, sent another one back that looked like butt, and I figured that this would be a good time to go ahead and model a VUK. So, we can get into that. I also happen to have this Newton ball that I think we're going to do first because it's going to be super easy. For those of you that don't know, the Newton balls are the pinballs that are stuck right through the play field in place, and another ball is set behind it, so that when the shooter ball hits it, it uses Newton's theory to blast the captured ball off. Anyway. All right. So I've done another Newton ball assembly that looks like this. These are the newer Stern ones that have these 3 studs that go through the playfield. And this pinball is actually loose in the assembly. And it's any pinball that you want to use, so you can actually replace them. This one is one of the older Williams versions. And I picked it up just in case I end up using it for something. I might also mount it upside down and use it as a bash toy or something. I don't know. We'll see. How are the volumes, Jimmy? Pretty good? Hey, Toyota boy. I've thought about that. I've got a ton of them. My hesitation for doing that is that I don't know that they're all 100% correct, and I'm also a little bit worried about having to maintain them long term. But it has crossed my mind. We'll see. I might do that after I've built the homebrew. Thanks, man. I've been working on it. There are a couple of things I still don't like. This camera above me up here for the top-down view is too far away. But the rig that I ordered is not here. It's supposed to get here today. I don't know if everything on there is accurate, but it'd be nice to have a starting point if things missing. That's true. I hear you. I've got a couple hundred parts that I've done so far. I really enjoy doing this, and if they're useful for other people, I really don't have a problem with that. I just got to figure out the timing. So, what are you guys up to tonight? Anything good? Let's go ahead and start up a new one. This should be pretty straightforward. We can start by creating our sphere. And setting the documents to inches. We don't use millimeters here in America. All right. I actually don't know if this is the correct size. Somebody linked this from the PinDev Slack group. The detail on your cabinet is great. Oh, thanks. Really? So I've made it the outside world. It's good to know. All right, so these are exactly pinball size, 1 1/16. So all that we need to do now is add this stud. So this is pretty straightforward. Just make sure this is 3/16. And finish that up. Extrude. See how far. Okay. So in order to get this to stick out the right amount, I'm going to have to measure the entire thing. Which is, let's see, 2 1/16. So minus, what is 1 1/16 divided by 2? 17/16? 17/32. That's what it is. So I need to do, geez. -2 1/16 minus 17/32. There's no way that's right. I done wrong here? No. All right, thanks for stopping by, Jimmy. Hit me up later if you want to. I'll probably be up for a while. Okay, maybe we just do it this way. This is an inch long, so it should be -1 in 1730 seconds. Okay, that looks a lot better. Join that, and just add some threads. Figured we'd start with the easiest first. This was going to go pretty quickly. I don't know what threading this is. It looks like a 6. Let me go get a nut. Yeah, we can just check. It is not. I'm glad I checked. Horse thread or something? Wow, alright. Well, apparently this is a 1032. But it is not screwing on. Well, that's puzzling. I don't know what threading this is. I'll have to figure that out later, I guess. In the meantime, I guess we'll call it... we'll call it a number 1032. It's probably not right. And let's just do the distance here as well. Okay, 9/16. So it is not full length. It is 9/16. Yep, that looks good. All right, we're done. Oh, we should probably add milling geometry to this, by the way. And I need to figure out whatever the part number is for this. Call this Newton ball. 04100005. That'll work. Okay, and the step that I'm doing here, I add solid geometry to all of these models to use it to subtract from the playfield when I'm ready to place it, so that it creates the whole patterns that we need to mount it. And it's generally a pretty straightforward process. In fact, I can use this other sketch that I've got to mill that out, but process I usually do for this is I'll just start with building a faux playfield. Oh, and we probably, let's see, before I do this, let me go ahead and move this entire body up so that our origin, let's see, we're going to want to go 1730 seconds tall. This way our origin is right at the mount point at the bottom of the pinball rather than in the center. It'll be useful later. More useful. Easier to do things. Okie doke. Alright. New sketch on that plane. Create our faux playfield. I always forget to install or to insert the globals that I use for this. In Fusion terms, this is inserting a derive, and a derive is basically just parts of another file. And I have this pinball globals that I've created that just has a whole bunch of constants of playfield thickness and how thick screws are and how deep they need to be sunk to not punch through the playfield, etc. So now that that's in, I can actually use those to build a reference playfield. Playfield thickness ref. There we go. And we don't want that to cut. And we also want it on the milling geometry. Whoops. All right, there we go. So now what I do is I go ahead and copy that in the exact same place, hide one of them, and then for this, we can just go ahead and subtract this geometry, I think. This was easy enough that we can remove our Newton ball from the playfield, like such. And then what we need to do is we need to subtract this playfield with the cutouts. Intersect with the original body. I guess we have to show it. Oh. Why is this not letting me do this? The target body is this, and we want to cut that. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. So for more complex stuff, doing those steps actually makes sense. I probably just could have created that cylinder, but let's back up a little bit and let me open up that hole just slightly. Now we can do that here. Let me do this by 0. Oh, right, yes. This needs to be negative to open it up. That makes sense. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I was adding a thread instead of opening this a bit. Okay. And it added a thread again. What? I am confused. Why does this keep on adding threads? You press pull this guy, right? Yeah. 0.01. Okay, I'm not sure why that's showing as thread. Maybe that's a fusion bug. Okay, went away when we did the combine. Alright, so what we've ended up with after that... Oh, I've deleted the geometry. That's not good. We want to keep tools on this. There. Now we've got that guy. Okay, so what we've ended up with here is I have this extra little bit. So when I place this model in the on the playfield, I can subtract the milling geometry here from the playfield itself, and then that gives me the hole that I need to mount this. Last step is that I need to... There are a couple ways I can do this, but I'll just create a rigid group of both of these together. And that way, if I move one, the other will go with it. And with that, let's hide that. We are done with the Newton ball. So that went pretty quickly. We're good. Okay, so the other thing that I picked up, I got this from Marco yesterday, I think. I got this vertical up kicker. If you guys don't know what these are, they're the part that's sitting underneath the playfield that shoot the ball up into the air. That often there's some sort of a inverted ramp on top of them, and they get diverted to some other part of the playfield. So, I don't know what's the best one for this. This camera is way too widescreen to be doing this. But basically, the ball will come down, hit this this switch. The playfield, of course, will be on the top, which is constraining the ball. that comes down, hits the switch, and then the solenoid gets fired and shoots the ball up from here. Hence vertical up kick. We're going to model this tonight. So, first step every time that I do this is we disassemble the whole thing, and then hope that we remember how to put it back together later. Kind of stuff is a lot of fun for me. In future streams, my plan is that I want to take a whole bunch of these models that I've made and collaboratively with chat build some playfields. Well, hello there, tenant for doctor, my wife, ladies and gentlemen. How's everything going, dear? You missed the Newton ball. All right, the good news is I have a bunch of these parts already modeled, I think. Certainly these, I've got the coil for sure. The spring, we'll see about the bracket. Oh, there's a spring washer in here as well. And I should have the coil sleeve done. Toyota Boy, is Fusion 360 self-taught hobby, or do I use it for work? It was a self-taught hobby, and that has actually led me into using it at work. So it's been really interesting that building this homebrew. I've been working on it, for years now. It goes slowly, and the amount of work that I put into it ebbs and flows. But the amount of things that I have learned doing that has absolutely changed the course of my life. I've been a video game programmer most of my life, or my professional career anyway. And once I started doing this, I bought this 3D printer that I've got here. I've built a CNC machine because, of course, I needed to do that to cut a play field. I wanted to, instead of buying a P-Rock or some other off-the-shelf electronic solution, I wanted to learn how to build that myself. So I've taken a stab at that. I have this thing actually cycling with the custom electronics, and they're just good enough to not catch on fire. I tried using some of the more advanced features that I thought I had built in, and quickly realized that I forgot to put a fuse in the design, so burned out my first coil. This is an interesting path. Besides George Gomez, I don't know anyone else who's crossed over from video games to pinball. That's a good point. If you count Steve Ritchie, he did a lot of voice work for Mortal Kombat and stuff, but yeah, I'm not sure. But hey, if you're gonna compare me or put me in the same category in any way as George Gomez, I'm happy. Thanks. All right. Well, I forgot to go look up a parts list thing for this thing, so let's quickly see what Lord Google says about that. Let's see, 500-629001. Upkicker assembly. Maybe Marco will have a parts list. Sometimes they do. Which 3D printer and CNC do you have? I have a Prusa MK3S. And before this, I had an ANET A8 that I bought and then heavily modified to have it, not suck quite as bad. I went ahead and dropped the money on the Prusa. Yeah, it sure is. Basically because I brought in my Franken printer to work to do some prototype work that we weren't expecting to do, which is kind of how I fell into being able to do this professionally. And I convinced them to get a bunch of Prusas because they're really good and they're cheap comparatively. You know, you can get a $5,000 MakerBot or an $800 Prusa kit, and they're basically the same as far as I'm concerned. So they bought a fleet of them, and after using them for a little while, it just I loved it. I really like the fact that I can just have it print. I don't have to worry about it. I like the fact that there aren't limit switches on it. That it uses the what are they, trimetric stepper drivers, so they can detect when there's too much motor torque, and they use that for end stops. It does a good job of recovery. I mean, I've got no complaints. So, and as far as the CNC machine, it is it's basically my design. It's iteration 3, and it's made with open build parts. So you know, I can only claim design in that I use the open builds parts libraries and assembled something that I wanted, because I have very specific an MPCNC. What is an MPCNC? I'm not sure what you mean. But the space constraints that I have in my garage are real, and I needed something that would be able to cut at least. Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. The mostly printed CNC machine. I needed something that was going to be able to cut a 2-foot by 4-foot sheet of plywood. Basically, I have to fit a play field in there. So the kits that Open Builds have, are not quite that size. So I had to kind of modify that. I had some other parts. I didn't want to spend all that much, so I kind of put them together. Rev 2 is belt driven, and then the current one that I've got, I replaced that all with screw drives. So they finally came out with one that you could use that basically gave you a 4-foot travel, which they didn't have a lead screw that was long enough the first time around that I did that. So it's much more rigid now, which is good. I had a lot of vibration problems with the previous one, and I think it's mostly because of the belts. It was faster, though. That was a nice thing. So let me see. I really should have done this research before I started the stream. All right, you know what? We are just going to plow through this, because what I will likely have to do is find what machines this particular part was in, and then see if I can find a service manual for them. Because I guess if I got linked on Pinball Makers, or where did you say it was? PinDev. And they said I was meticulous. They're not kidding. So, all right. Well, I guess let's see what I already have done. I'm almost sure that the Y switch is going to be accurate. Let's just do some measurements just to make sure, just in case. Or, you know what's easier? Let me just grab one of my other ones. Check that. If I can find them. Oh, come on. They've got to be around here somewhere. Sorry about that. All right. So if these are the same, this will save us some time. Close enough. All right. So we're done with that. I am sure that the coil is done. I'm not going to model the fish paper. I have the spring. I know that for sure. I'm not going to bother with the micro switch screw guard. I am going to do the spring washer, however, and I need to see if I already have that. I know I've done at least a couple of them, but I think they were for the old Bally Brick drop targets. So, in fact, that might actually live in there. Or maybe I didn't do it. Maybe I drop targets. Maybe I came to my senses. Nope, guess I didn't do it. And I guess I don't really need to do it for this one either. Okay. So, brackets. Where? Threaded coil retaining bracket. Yeah, that looks about right. It's got the right Sega Stern Data East format part number. And just make sure that these are actually correct dimensions. It looks correct. 3/4 inch, yep. And 1 and 1/32. That's 1. Well, let's see if this one will work. It might. So, we've got the plunger to do. Where are those other ones? I'm trying to remember where I have like the up post, because I know I've done a whole bunch of these bell armatures, but I can't remember what assemblies or what I called them when I did it. So you saw that. Is it in the saucers? No, those are the old school saucers. Kickers, maybe. This one has it, but I think it's the wrong. Yeah, it's the wrong shape. I've got some that are closer, I think. Okay, insert gates, flippers, electron. Oh, this one's probably going to be closest. This bearing post assembly. Yeah, we can work with that. So let's get rid of that. Where's the part itself? Okay, yeah, this is overly complicated, but back into books, into parts, save this. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, just so that I remember this, I'm going to go ahead and put these in a different directory. And because I need to go back and find the part numbers. Okay, and now we can start messing with this thing. I'm almost sure that most of that is going to be about right. And these bell armatures are pretty easy to model. Okay, let's do some measurements. How big a round? 0.438. Oh, that's radius. 0.875. Yep. Close enough. And figure out how tall this is. 0.3-ish. Check that as well. Okay, that's better. 0.281. Yep. All right. And how far did we do this? 2.188. I'm sure that that's a common fractional value in imperial, but I don't know what it is. 2.2. All right, so this is a little bit bigger. What is that? 730 seconds. 2 and 730 seconds. And that is that extrusion. Okay. 2 and 730 seconds. Just okay. And the rest of these we can get rid of. So we're just going to extrude the top out of this. And this is how big? 1 and 9 30 seconds. 1 and 9 30 seconds. We're going to do a new body with that, because we're going to make that out of nylon. There it is. And give it a slight chamfer. Way too much. And there we go. All right, bell armature done. Great success. Okay, let's see. What's next? Well, we've got sem screws, so all right. The hard part, literally. We got to do the bracket. Let me save this as bracket 4. 500-62901, and I will name this, rename this again some other time. Okay, so this is a sheet metal part, and I guess the best way to do this is just to model the flat back of it and start doing the bends and make sure I bend it in the right way. So let's get into it. And I guess we want this standing up. So, all right, what does this thing look like? We have one of these, one of these. One of these, then it does that. I guess that's it. Okay, that's not so bad. And we put those together, and I have no idea what that angle is, but we'll figure it out. 2 3/4. A lot of times it's hard to. Now we're in millimeters again. That's no good. Excuse me. A lot of times it's hard to get good measurements off of these sheet metal parts because the bends themselves are difficult to get calipers around. But almost always somebody with a brain made these, so they're going to be some imperial measurement, and this one is 2 3/4, for instance. So it's generally pretty safe to just pick the closest one to the bend. Like this one, we're going to try 3 3/8 and see how we do. Whoop. And again, we're going to guess at 1 7/8. And there are two ways that I could go about finding this angle. I can either measure the angle or measure the side. And since I don't have a protractor handy, we're doing the side at 2.5. I'll sometimes make a quick drawing and print 1-to-1 to lay the original part over it to check the model. That's a good idea. What I will often do is after I've built this thing. Well, there are a couple of things I do. As I'm building it, this sounds ridiculous, but I'll have the part up in Fusion, and I'll just sight it. You know, I'll hold it up and size it appropriately so that it lines up with the model, and 9 times out of 10 that works. That works great. If nothing else, it'll point out things that are obviously wrong. And then generally after I model playfield mechs like this, I'll go ahead and print a small part, you know, a small sheet of plastic that's a couple of millimeters thick, just to make sure that the screw holes and mounting and relief is all the way that it needs to be. So generally I do that. Printers, it's the same idea. I just happen to do it in 3D since I have this here. But I think that that's good practice. I forgot my measurement. We got to talking. 2.5. Toyota Boy, what do you model these for? Is it did you mention that already? You might have. Okay. So let's go ahead and anchor this towards the origin. Okay, we've got our sketch. Turn this into sheet metal. There, done. Nice. But we got to go back and edit the rule so that we have the right thickness. And we are at 5/64. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what's going to be the easiest thing to do here. I guess let's start with this foot. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, use SolidWorks, started Homebrew about 5 years ago, slowly getting back into it. Nice. Yeah, I never, when I was first starting out, I was thinking either SolidWorks or Inventor or something like that, and then Fusion came out and is free, and, you know, free is good. So that's what I stuck with. Of course, now I'm paying for this, but I use it enough to where that's okay. And I just realized there's this whole lip in here that we didn't do. Good news with that is that that makes the next step of doing the bend way easier. So we want this as well. Let me go ahead and now we can leave that way. That's fine. See how thick this thing is. How do you like SolidWorks? I never actually got to where I had learned it at all. I started looking at it, but as I remember, it was very, very expensive. And out of my price range at the time, for sure. Let's see, how are we doing? 3/8, but it's an inner bend. Okay. Very similar to Fusion, slightly different interface. Yeah, that makes sense. Inventor is kind of like that too. We at work they offered to get me an Inventor license, and I was really surprised because, well, first of all, I'm used to all the hotkeys in Fusion at this point, and it's a little bit different, even though it's Autodesk. There were a few things that Fusion does that Inventor didn't do well. Like, I think it was helixes. I was trying to do a spring, and I couldn't figure out a way to do it. It's also entirely possible. I just didn't know how to do it. SolidWorks just announced a 99-year maker subscription coming later this year that I'm going to jump on. My commercial license is 4 years old because of the cost. Yeah, definitely. That's really cool, actually. Did they do it similar to how Autodesk did it, with the licensing basically being that you can't make money off of it? It was something like that, or it was that your income from doing this was less than 100K or something like that. let's see, outer faces, and we want inside. Yes, correct. They haven't officially said what the license mean. I'm guessing it'd be something like, yeah, that would be my guess too. Autodesk recently kind of nerfed the 360 license, which is why I bought one for myself. Let's see. Oh, this is an inch without the... okay, as long as the height datum is right. Well, that's new. Which account am I on? I don't think I'm using my work account, but I don't know who else would have this open. Oh, you know what? It might be. Huh, interesting. Am I streaming well now? Currently? I see that publicly it looks like there's a huge delay, but locally it looks pretty good. I actually don't even know what to look for. I've been here, let me go ahead and kill the music. Fine now, but maybe that's what caused the licensing. Yeah, possibly. Here, let me check this real quick. Here, I can go to this camera as I'm doing this. Well, no, this couldn't possibly be. Yeah, something's funky because this couldn't possibly be work, or else I wouldn't have all my pinball stuff in it. So, huh, interesting. Well, I guess we'll just try to ignore it. Hope that it goes away. We'll see. All right, so this is going to be 1 inch. Height datum is going to be the interfaces, though. Yep, and yeah, that'll do. Let me go ahead and give these fillets now. Measure it just for completeness. How big are your fillets? 1/4 inch. There we go. All right, starting to look like a part. We got another bend here. Oh, did I actually totally close music? I guess I did. Or did I just... Okay, I did that. Does this one make more sense? Yep, 1 1/8. Yeah, so I'm always... Whenever I'm doing this sheet metal, you know, heights can be either on the inside bends, the outside bends, and one of them always makes more sense than the other, and that's usually the one that you want to use. Let's see, I need to measure how much of this needs to be taken out. We'll call it 1/4 inch. How are we gonna do this? I guess we want to, let's extrude this down by 1/4 inch. And we'll see how that goes. See, 1 5/8. Okay. And the inner bend yet again. 1 5/8. Interfaces. Position inside. Wait, is that what I want? See, no, this one I want. Oh, right, yes. Outside bend, I think. I don't know. Let's see. Let's measure overall height. That'll give it to us. What? 2 and 7, and 1 to 7/8 in 30 seconds. 20, so 27, 30 seconds. Or, well, alright. That's just dumb. 3.86. That's way easier. .75. Nope. That's good, because I actually do want this to be outside. So this should be... This should give us about what we want. 3.8. Yeah, close enough. I think. Wait. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that is done. And now we can bend this little guy this way underneath. That fits perfectly. That's good news. And well, we'll call it a 1/2 inch. It doesn't really matter on this bit. Cool. Okay, so what is next? I guess let's go back to this original sketch because we've got more junk in here. Okay, so we've got this bracket cut out that we got to put in. How do I want to do this? This is one of those weird bends where it's not all the way. It doesn't go corner to corner, so it's harder to specify in Fusion where you actually want the bend to go. But this is... should I model that? Yeah, I'm going to model it. Make it just slightly easier. Okay. Go linear with this dude. Let's make this something real small. Like that. How wide is this? Okay, that's a very weird imperial number. Let's see, 56, 55, 54, 53, 64. Weird, but there we go. And then we want to make these equal. And then figure out how wide this entire hole is, and it's 1 1/4. Okay. And how tall is it? It looks square. Let's see. Nope, not quite. 1 1/4 and a 32nd, which is 1 9 30 Can you cut after the bend? Yes, I can. And I am going to have to do that for a bunch of the screw holes and such. In this particular case, it's just a matter of being able to get the bend out of the square in the place where I actually want it. It's easier. I find it's easier to do it this way. Was that 13/16 from this edge? 13/16, and now I just gotta. Okay, what's a good reference surface for this? None. Yeah. Oh, this is awful. Okay. Good old eyeballing. All right, we'll call it 1 3/4. I like it. It's a good number. Okay, and now we've got our, let's do construction line there. That we'll use to mirror a couple of slots. Where are the slots? There they are. Okay, these are 3/16 wide and a 1/4 inch tangent to tangent. So 3/16 wide and 1/4 tangent to tangent. So take that and we will mirror it around mirror line and figure out what center to center is. These are almost always the same, and I never remember what the actual measurement is. So 3/8 center to center. Oh, okay. I guess let's do it this way. Oh, it doesn't like that either. Okay. Well, construction. Or even better, we'll just mirror this too. There. Okay, and I need to figure out how far down. It's 3/4 inches center, which of course I don't have a point for. That's okay. Okay, much better. And this first one that we do, we'll just take out these. All right. Moving along. Let's see, how far is this extruded out? 1 inch. Sounds good. One inch. We want to do height as inner. He's, yeah, adjacent, I think is what we want. I'm going to go back into this and make this even smaller because this is actually flush, it looks like. Well, maybe not. I suppose there's enough for a partial bend in there. We'll call it a 16th. I like that better than a magic number anyway. Okay. Whoa. All right, progress. Okay, let's start carving this guy out, I guess. Oh, we can go ahead and put the holes in here too. That's good. All right. So from the edge, we are looking at 1 3/4. Let's project this in. And we've got one of these. And yeah, actually, that will be pretty simple to do. Okay, what did I say? 1 3/4? I hope so, because that's what I'm putting in. And I just gotta figure out how wide this thing is. 3/8. Cool. We can measure that after it's actually built. Okay. What am I doing? Circles. Lots of them. So there's the outer one. There's the one for the coil sleeve. And that'll be the one for the... what do they call it? Grommet. Jeez. Okay. And then what else do we have? We got 6 of these doodads. 5. All the same at oh geez, okay, 8, 9, 10, 11 64s. Weird size. And set all of these guys equal. Probably should have patterned this out, but oh well. Okay, so from the front, we're looking at... Wait, these are weird sizes. Okay. Oh, that's not so bad. 3/16. Okay. Let's put these all on a construction line. what I measured, right? Yeah. This guy will go midpoint on here. I'm fairly certain. That's what it looks like. 5/8, 5/8. Oh, yeah, 1 1/4. Great success. 1 1/4. Okay. All right. Now we just got to see how far we are from the side. Either side, it looks like. It's hard to get a good reference edge on some of these parts. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so how many 30 seconds is that? 9? 9? Math is hard. Okay, and now we've got another set here. These guys are 5/8 apart. They're not in line with this other one, which is odd, but that's the way that it is. And these are 3/16 from the edge. Well, if anybody has any suggestions about how to make measurements entertaining, let me know. Because I'm sure it's something I'm going to be trying to do for quite a while. All right, let's use the same top reference edge. Just make sure that these are... All right. 24, 23, 30 seconds. Okay. Why is this still not constrained? Where do you... Oh. Well, obviously that's wrong. We'll just do another construction line and constrain that to be up and down. There. Good. Good stuff for sure. All right. Now we got to figure out where this guy goes. And I'm looking for an imperial number that makes sense, and I don't see one. That sucks. Oh, that'll work. Yeah. Okay, 1 3/16 from left edge. And we need one more vertically. Same reference edge. 1 inch. I bet that's right. I can select it. What is going on? That. To that. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Now... Oh, yeah. We need diameters for these guys. 5/8 and 1/2. And the other one is 1/4. I'm pretty sure. Nope. Nope. 5/8, 1/2, 1/4. Right? Yeah, I guess so. These grommets are big. Okay. Let's go ahead and put in... Oh, yeah. Let's mix that. We don't need that anymore. Can we do all here? We can. So that's gone. We want to put in our fillet. This is probably another 1/8 again. 1/4. I was wrong. And let's start making holes. These go all the way through? Sure do. Okay. And now we want to, let's see, that, I can make this part of the same operation since that has to go all the way through. Now we want to extrude this ring to here. Okay, something's off because that is not centered. Now we want to extrude this one just to the other side. Okay, well, something is wrong on here, and I'm going to use my sight check just to... looks like the box is in the right place, which means the holes are not. Let's see about how far I need to move that. 2.39 and 0.89, so 0.089. Dang it. I love it when I just absolutely forget what it was that I was doing. Okay, 0.239. Let's do this. 0.239 minus 0.089 equals... Oh. Well, that didn't take. Okay. Sure, this is great content. Thanks for sticking with me. Minus 0.089 equals, divided by 2, is 0.075, which is... Oh, 0.075. 0.075. 5/16, which happens to be... Or 5/64, rather, which happens to be the exact thickness of the sheet metal, which means we're off by the 1 sheet metal thickness. Good news is that actually makes total sense. So what is that? 6:30 seconds? 1:30 second. That whole pattern still look reasonable. Now I'm wondering if those other holes are not in the correct place. It looks like they're not, but that'll be easily fixed. Let's see, 30 seconds or 30 seconds. Oh, but that looks really thin. Well, something has gone terribly wrong. Oh, but that's... Did I do that wrong? That center it? Yeah, it sure does. Okay, well, I guess math is hard. It has been a long day. Okay, that also means that these other ones are off by the same amount. Not that much, though. And those are close. Okay. All right, the universe makes sense again. That looks much better. And that is nearly centered down there. That's probably good enough. Okay, almost done. Almost. Done with this. We want to extrude that guy down, which gives us our nice little lip. And let's see how far. 3/8. Okay. I'm actually going to come in here and edit this bend to give it a bigger or a smaller bend radius. Because we have to put screw holes in here. Okay, so I think that looks too long. So what did I do? It should be interfaces, right? Yeah. I did it 3/8 position. Right. Yeah. Okay. And just for sanity, we're going to check this distance, 0.475. No. That needs to come down. So, inside. That's probably it. No, that's too much too. Okay. Do we have outside already? 475. What? Need like 0.41. Curious. Oh, that's even worse. Well, I'm going to go with inside for now. I'll revisit that. That is odd. Oh, you know what? I bet that this is... I just have the height wrong. What's wrong with me? We're 0.375. We need to go up another 30 seconds. And we can do that in the sketch. 3/8, what is that? 12, 30, wait. Yeah, 12, 30 seconds, 13, 30 seconds. Okay, now it should be right. Okay, yeah, close. Close. So it's probably right. And let's go ahead and put some screw holes in. We can do this with a line. And figure out how far they are. 3/8, and we'll just call it centered, I guess. Oh, but 3/8 and 9/64 from the bottom. Whoops. I need to project that square. I keep forgetting that I have that turned off, that it doesn't auto project. 9/64, and these are 3/8 apart. And we want to center this on the part. There we go. We'll also make that construction. Doesn't matter, but we're doing it. And as I recall, these are threaded apt. That's what I'm looking for. And they are number 2s. Number 2. Yep. And we want to go to here. Good stuff. Making progress. I think we're pretty much done with this part. Okay. Well, I'm satisfied. We're done with the bracket. Now the fun part. Now we can actually assemble this thing and make it work like a VUK. Let's go back to here and new design. Go ahead and save this with the correct part number. 500-629001. Tub kicker assembly book. Right. So says Marco. Okay. All right, let's start adding stuff. So we need a bracket. Yeah, I'm going to spin this around. And we need a plunger assembly. Just going to go in here. Let's go get our grommet. That's in here somewhere. Rubber grommet. There we go. You're going to go down here, flipped over. I don't have any Sega coils, but I bet I've got a Williams that's at 26-1200. So let's go get that. Coils. 26-1200. Yeah, this is about what I would expect to be in there anyway. Okay. And we got to find an appropriate sleeve with a lip. I'm really hoping that I've already modeled this. Although I guess it doesn't matter changing the length. 2 inches. Flange coil sleeve. 2 inches. Perfect. And let's see, how did that go in there? Like that. So we're going to flip. And there we go. Okay, that's done. We need one of our brackets that we've already got. How's that? I'm sure that's flipped over like that. So do you own any pens? No, I don't. Not unless you count. You can barely see it back here. That is my homebrew. It's see it a little bit more. That's it. I would own more pens, but you know, I have a wife and she has space in this house too, unfortunately. Oh great, now I've messed up the whole thing. I'd like to at some point, but we just don't have the space for it, unfortunately. The deal has been that I can get a pen if I get rid of my homebrew, and I'm not doing that yet. We'll see. Maybe I'll sell it after it's done. How about you? Do you have any? Toyota boy? Alright, what else do we need? Do I have some screws? I might actually have these already. And we can throw them in just for fun. I do. That's ridiculous. Okay. And we'll throw those on the back. 10 pins plus the homebrew. That's awesome, dude. Man, if I had the space, that would absolutely be me as well at this point. Because of the pandemic, I haven't been, going out and playing anywhere at all. So I haven't played pinball in, I guess, a year, more than a year, unless you count cycling that thing, which I don't. Basically, right now, I've got a ball trough, 2 flippers, auto plunger, slingshots, and then I taped a spinner to the play field, so I had something to do. It's not a very fun game yet. And the rule set is pretty shallow. It's rip the spinner. That's it. What kind of pins do you have? Are they all new? Are they solid state? Are they EMs? Or do you at least keep up with which pins have been released in the past year? I watch a lot of the Twitch streams. I watch Dead Flip and Fliptronic and Don't Panic Flip and some of the other TPN guys, and you know, they've got machines rolling in and out that I at least get to see. So Avengers looked fun. I really want to play Deadpool because everybody seems to rave about that, and I haven't played one yet. So I'd like to do that. I don't think that came out this year, but as non sequitur, I'd like to do that. And then TMNT, I guess, came out last year as well. That looked pretty fun. Few 80s, mostly modern stuff. Cool. What's your favorite one that you've got? Or a few? Like, what are your... which ones do you really like? Okay, where's my Switch? There we go. And let's see, this is going to go over here. Rented Deadpool for a month from an operator. It's underrated. Really? Okay. Well, still like to play it. Let's check it out. What do you recommend? Now, where's the armature? Oh, I pulled that over already. Okay, good. Good news. What am I missing? A spring. We will need a spring. Why? Because it looks nice. Stern Jurassic Park is my favorite. Keith Elwin is such a good designer. I have heard that. You know, that kind of makes sense. He's a pretty good player, so... what else did it... was it... why can't I think of the name? What was the other pin that he did that was based on Archer? Dang it. It's missed. Total brain fart. I can even see it, and I can't think of the name of it. Okay. Let's go ahead and start laying this guy out, I guess. Alright. We're going to make that. Iron Maiden, yes, thank you. I was sitting in my mind, I'm like, Aerosmith, no, obviously not. Black Sabbath, no. In fact, I don't think they've made a Black Sabbath. It'd be kind of cool if they did. Yeah, from all accounts that I've heard, both of his games, has he done another one? Have been just phenomenal. I haven't seen him play very much because I used to watch the Papa tournaments, and that's kind of fallen out of favor just because, you know, I don't have a dog in the race exactly because, you know, I've never been to one of them, nor am I ranked, or, you know, I haven't competed at all. I'm not nearly good enough to do that. Like, for good? Papa closed? Or is it just for now? Oh, man, that sucks. No shit. Damn. Okay, well, that's not fun. Man, I'm really sad to hear that. I couldn't risk holding out. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's been weird times. You know, I can honestly say 2020, without a doubt, has been the worst year of my life for sure. And I didn't even have it bad. Like, you know, everything everything worked out okay for me. I was able to work from home and all of that, but man, the business owners that you know, are having to deal with this, I can't even imagine. So, yeah. Wow, that's a bummer. Okay, well, at least they sold off the games. Were they able to? Was there any big collector that took a large chunk of them, or was it just sort of a la carte for everybody? Do you know? Let's see. It is looking like I am going to have to move these holes just a smidge. Or is that within tolerance? That's good enough. That'll work. Okay, let's see. We are getting close to the finish line. And that makes me happy. Oh man, why did I model these this way? Ridiculous. Oh, I think I got these from MasterCar parts. Okay. I'm not that insane. Yet I'm still keeping them in the design. I didn't read about a big chunk other than I think Gavin, the Chicago repair guy, I think too a bunch, got pretty spread out throughout the collectors. That makes sense. Is Gavin the, I don't know if you watch Dead Flip or not, but he mentions Gavin, whoever that is, often. Maybe it's the same guy because he's given Dead Flip a bunch of pins on loan. So that would make some sense, I suppose. Yeah, same guy. Okay. Are these not? No, they're definitely not. Okay. Thank goodness. Yeah, no joke, dude. Well, one of the things that really bugs the crap out of me about the Fusion 360 is that there's no way to do. I don't even know what they're called in other programs, but I have to model a different. It's not okay. Let me start over. Fusion 360 is parametric, but the files themselves are not. Like, what I want is I want to be able to define, this is what a screw looks like, and when I insert a screw into my design, I want to be able to mess with a slider that tells me how long it is. And apparently there's no actual way to do that. You can kind of do it with derives, but otherwise, what I probably would have done was modeled a bunch of simplified versions of screws and such. But instead, I just, every time that I need one, I go to the McMaster-Carr library and, you know, download the one of the right size that I need. Probably doesn't have... Oh, hey, Fliptronic, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. A raid? Are you kidding me? Well, welcome everybody from watching Fliptronic. I'm sure you guys were having a blast as usual. We are getting dangerously close to finishing up the VUK here. And then I was going to try to figure out what else we were going to do tonight. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Yes, what the VUK indeed. Okay, so we can capture position now, and let us start making some rigid bodies, and then we can animate this thing. I hear sounds and I don't know what they are yet. Followers, my God. It's like Christmas. Thank you guys for the raid. I hope that this is somewhat entertaining. I want to start doing it a little bit more often. The idea would be eventually, I'd really like to have collaborative playfield design and do that with chat, see what we can come up with. I think it'd be fun. I'm going to be doing it anyway, with or without you guys, so I might as well make it a party. Okay, there's one rigid group. Let's do another. With those, we are done, and all that we have to do now is make the joint. Aha. Go here, and it is a slider. There we go. And let's give it some, let's see, let's go back to this rigid group and include the root. Yes, I know, thank you. So that should be grounded now. It is. Can you please make me a new 3D printed subway mech for my Avengers? Yeah, see, Bobby, I probably could, but it would fall apart in no time at all. Steel on plastic doesn't do well. At some point, I'm gonna go ahead and get a metal brake and start making metal parts myself. What was I doing? Okay, is this? Yeah, that is now grounded, which means that does that, which we want. And we want to put some constraints on it, so... Oh, I have this backwards, totally. Okay. This needs to flip, so... Let's do... Yeah, let's do it this way. We want that. God, followers galore. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Is this an old Williams scoop switch? It is a it's a Sega scoop VUK. Every once in a while I'll go look on Marco and Pinball Life and see if I can find new mechs both to play around with in the homebrew or to model, because I really enjoy doing this. Okay, that looks better, like it's not going to bust the plastic. What was I doing? We are figuring out how far we want to be able to make this go. And it is that far, which you can never see in Fusion. And it's just over an inch. So we're going to call that an inch. Edit joint limits. Minimum, maximum, 1 inch. Are you working on the Olympic Games homebrew? No, unfortunately. Well, I mean, what do you mean? You mean my long ass project that I've been doing for years and years and kind of stop and come back to every 4 or so? Yeah, that one I'm doing. Still haven't decided on a theme, but I'll get it eventually. Why is my slider suddenly not working? Does it go down? No. Oh. Because it didn't take. There. Alright. Well. Boys and girls. Let's see. The Subway mech is first. Promise. We talked about how there should be a modern Olympic pin. What would the modes be? With the drug test, yeah, that's probably good. The performance enhancing, maybe that's maybe that's the power up. You have to collect all of the performance enhancing drugs before making it to the Olympics. Each sport, that would be good. Can we include the X Games too? Because that would be rad. And a mech that places your ball on a podium. That would be cool. Or what was that old game? There was some. It was like Mousetrap. I don't think it was exactly Mousetrap, but it was a thing where you had to sort of knock this plastic ball upstairs. Or maybe I'm making it up. I don't know. We'll see. But that would be pretty neat. Maybe you could get a cannon and try to shoot it up onto the podium. Well, pinball magic knocks a plastic ball up a ramp. Yes, it does, and it's also got that that pinball on a stick that it floats. That would be cool. Yeah, you're right. Using a Newton pinball. You guys missed it earlier. I spent about 5 minutes and model the Newton pinball. In fact, is it open? Yeah, it is. That's not it. That's the Stern one. Where's the one that we did today? That's in MISC, I think. Is that SolidWorks you're modeling it? No, Pin Daddy, this is Fusion 360. It's more freer, which is why I picked it. So, yeah, here's the Newton ball that we did earlier. Well, that's the VUK done. Everything looks right. It all lines up and articulates properly, and we're good. So, sometime soon, I'm not sure exactly when, but sometime soon, we should probably start streaming some ideas. Where's the table? I'll show you guys real quick. One that I started just kind of playing with. It's awesome. I briefly dabbled in Fusion. It's daunting. It is, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now, but you know, I'm not an artist by trade. If you're an engineer, if you have an engineer kind of mind, everything really makes sense. I need to really learn so I can use the CNC router. Exactly. I went the other way. I learned and then decided I needed to build a CNC router. So, you know, this gives you an idea of the mechs and stuff, some of them that I've made. I get them pretty detailed just because they're fun to do. But, you know, this is a real rudimentary prototype that I was just kind of throwing together for fun. I don't know if I'll cut this out or not ever, but I was taking some elements from well, okay, yes, Fliptronic, you're right. I do love orbits. The idea with this was that I wanted 2 Newton balls with a ball that would flip-flop between them, just because I thought that was cool. I've since sort of fallen out of that camp because I think it would be terrible. Little Bubblegum, welcome. Hail squirrel gravy. And I don't even know if this would all fit together. It may, it may not. Some of these things, I haven't cut out these pieces. This pink thing is actually a scoop underneath this ramp that also doesn't exist yet. This is another long ramp. Some of these elements were taken from TMNT. I don't think I have it up here anymore, but at one point I literally had the service manual technical drawing laid on top of this playfield to since I can't readily test a bunch of ramp positions and measurements and stuff, I figured that those would be close enough to get me at least in the ballpark of shootable shots. I haven't touched this in a while, and I will probably scrap it, but it was fun to at least go through this process, and this is the kind of thing I think would be fun to do over several streams together collaboratively and just come up with some ideas. I was showing this on the last stream that I did too, and I might as well since everybody's here for a little while. When this loads up. Yeah, like I said, I really enjoy doing this, so I went so far as to go ahead and model the entire inside of my cabinet. interestingly, I took meticulous measurements on this cabinet off of 5 or 6 Stern machines because I needed to make sure that I made it absolutely perfectly. And the one thing that I didn't measure was the bottom here. So in my cabinet, the bottom is a 1/2 inch too tall to fit the coin box that fits underneath the coin door. Yeah. With the coin mechs, where pinball machines are amazing. Everything just fits together like Lego pieces. It's incredible. So, are those chimes in there? Hell yes, they're chimes. I was so excited to finally win this on eBay, but yeah, let me isolate this. No, not easily. I'd have to go find it. But yes, and as you can see, I am not going to be able to put them where they are because they're going to interfere with the actual playfield. So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of where we're at. Behind me, you can kind of see it. And hopefully starting to do this stream stuff is going to keep me motivated. You guys have to keep me on my toes and make sure I don't slack because I'm tired of not having a pinball table to play. So that's the goal. All right then. Well, peeps, I think I am going to call it. I don't. Who is streaming and how do you raid? Let's see. Oh, MPT3K. This is fun. I get to raid somebody. Which control system are you going to use for this? I am insane. I currently have. Let's see if I. No, I don't know exactly where they are. I'll get them out for next stream. But all of the electronics that are in there are currently electronics that I design. We'll do some streams with that too, using KiCad or KeyCAD or whatever you want to call it. I had boards manufactured, brought them in, soldered them all up. They mostly work. I did learn that it is a good idea to have a fuse somewhere in your design because, you know, I'm not an electrical engineer, and I found that out when I cooked my first coil. But it generally works. Like, they cycle. I know what I need to do. I know the hardware that I need to put in there. Another nice thing is that Stern's schematics are all available. So, you know, I can use those as reference. I'm never going to sell these boards or anything. So, you know, going and looking at what parts they used and then finding cheaper alternatives is usually the plan of action when I get stuck on something. So, a button with a countdown will pop up, and after a few seconds, you can click the button to send the raid. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for stopping by. This is pretty amazing. My friend on the first one said there's no way you're going to quadruple your viewer count ever again, and that totally just happened. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me get this started, I guess. Not rail. That's a totally different command. And it's just that. Yeah, me too, Jordan. We'll see how much it sticks. I've got a lot of more. I have a lot better equipment coming in. So the 30 hertz down here with my hands should be fixed. Something slightly less widescreen should be good. Yeah, man, Fliptronic, you and I, it is scary how alike it seems we are, because we have 1,000 different hobbies, and it's all about just kind of making stuff and learning and crap. You know, I really enjoy doing this stuff, and I like, you know, I love this journey that I've been on, and now I'm gonna stream too, which is nuts. Yeah, never a boring minute. And if it is, you build something fun, you know? So if you're bored and you're a maker, then it's your fault. So, all right. I don't even know how to sign off. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully the next time you guys come by, it'll be, we'll have even better layout, better widgets, better entertainment. We'll see. Oh, wait, I can do this. There. Well, I appreciate it. I hope that everybody has a good night. Enjoy. Oh. I guess that's the raid. Night, everybody.